Potomac Beads. Join me in making this beautiful Tea Time Bracelet designed by Anna. If you need any materials, check out the links below me to shop with us online. So to begin this Tea Time Bracelet, I have a Potomac Crystal Button along with 2 size 12 beading needles and some .006 green wildfire beading thread. I have 1 needle on either side of about 4 feet of thread. I have 15-0 seed beads here in the Miyuki brand in the matte opaque seafoam luster. And I'm going to put on 2 of those, 1 of my 11-0 Miyuki, which is a dusty mauve Ceylon, followed by 2 15-0s in that nice opaque seafoam luster. I'm going to go through my Potomac Crystal Button, which has 4 holes, and I'm going to go through the 2 holes that are opposite one another from the little beveled side out towards the bottom. That's going to create a little bit of a V there in the center. With my needle and thread, I'm going to separate them out. Take 1 of the threads through the open hole at the top, 1 of the threads through the open hole at the bottom. From there, as I come to the top, my needles will be basically opposite and on the sides of that original starter section. With my needle on the right, I want to add 2 15-0s, and you're going to find this to be very consistent, that anything we do on the right, we are also going to do on the left. I now have 2 15-0 seed beads on the right side and 2 on the left. My right needle, I'm going to take my needle and go down through that mauve seed bead that sits in the middle. My seed bead, or my needle that's in the left, I'm going to go up through that same mauve seed bead 11-0. Give a nice tight pull, and that gets you so that the thread is crossing through that 11-0 seed bead. Take that right thread and needle and go down through the left side and the 15-0s, coming out the back of the crystal. And with your right needle, you're going to make sure to come out the opposite side. Diagonal holes on the back, going through the 15, down through the button, and out through the back. From here, I want you to grab 1, 2, and 3 11-0s on the right side, 1, 2 11-0s on the left. That last 11-0 that you put on the right side, the thread's coming out from the left to, or from the right to the left. This needle is going to go from the left to the right, which is going to create a little V behind the button. You want to make sure when you're done with that V that you still have the same amount of thread on the right needle and the left needle. From here, I want you to do a pattern of 15, 11, 15 on both the right and the left needle. Let that drop down next to that button. From here, we're going to go back through, or we're going to go through our first of our IrisDuos. This is a Potomac's IrisDuo, which is a metal IrisDuo in the vintage copper color. I have it sitting with the flat side facing down, the rounded side facing up. The needle that's on the right is going to go through from the right to the left through the first or the bottom hole, and the needle on the left is going to go towards the right side. Go ahead and pull those down, and that's going to come out right along the side of the piece. From here, we're going to decorate the side of the IrisDuo by adding 3 15-0s on my right side, and then taking that right needle and going to the left of the second hole. That decorates the side of the IrisDuo with my 3 15-0 seed beads. On the left-hand side, I'm going to do the exact same thing, adding in 1, 2, and 3 15-0s. Decorate the left side of the IrisDuo and take your needle and thread through the second hole of the IrisDuo towards the right-hand side. The needles in this project are always going to stay to the right and to the left. So if one is on one side, one's going to go to the other side. From here, we are going to cross after the IrisDuo in order to get our nice kind of crisscross look to go into our flowers. To get that cross section, I want you to add an 11 or 15, 11, 15, and 11. Let that drop down next to your IrisDuo. With the left needle, repeat 15, 11, 15, 11. Just like we did on the button as well as this first little X there, I want you to pick up one more 11 and crisscross through. One needle goes from the right to the left, and the other is going to go from the left to the right. Go ahead and pull your threads, and that decorates the top of the IrisDuo, creating a little peak. From here, we're going to split our needles and kind of do our leaves on either side. So I'm going to pick up 4 of my 11 O's on my right needle. Take your needle and go back through that first 11 O. What that's going to do is create a little picot trim to make our tea leaf. So right back through that one and up. When you do that, you want to give a nice tight pull, making sure that that leaf pops off to the side. Over here on the left-hand side, do the exact same thing. 1, 2, 3, and 4 of my 11 O's. Going through and going back through bead number 1. Give a nice tight pull. See how that leaf is kind of over there to the side? Push that little tea leaf right into the middle. From here, we're going to add one more 11 O, crisscrossing in the middle between it. So you're going to take your 11 O, one needle is going right to left, and the other needle is coming from the left side and crossing over to the right side. This pattern that we just did is going to repeat the entire bracelet. What you're going to do now is backtrack. So you can see here we added on the right hand needle. Gotta get out some more of my mauve. We're going to add an 11 O, a 15 O, an 11, and a 15. Put down your next IrisDuo, and you're going to sew through the first hole from right to left. While I have this in my hand, before doing the exact same thing on the left side, I'm going to pick up and add my 3 15 O's. And just to speed up the process, go from that bottom hole on the left-hand side to the top hole, bringing that needle back to the right-hand side. Same thing on the other side, going in here, adding an 11, then a 15, then an 11, then a 15. Going through that first hole of the IrisDuo from the left-hand side to the right-hand side. Because I already put those 15s there, you want to make sure you're not sewing through any of them. Go ahead and add 3 15s. And sew from the bottom hole to the top hole on the right-hand side and out to the left. Give a nice tight pull, and that finishes our process, which is going to be on repeat. Now I'm going to go in and create my next little section of my tea leaves. Going in now and adding my 15, 11, 15, and then crisscrossing through my 11 OC bead. Once you have your Tea Time bracelet finished, you can see how pretty it looks and kind of dainty along the line. I'm excited to see everybody's color combination, so make sure to comment below and let me know what different color combos of Anna's design you're doing. I have my thread coming out after 10 of my IrisDuos. I actually have 9 on mine because my wrist is a little bit smaller. You're going to want to put approximately 36 15 O's on your right needle, right after that crisscross point, getting ready if we were to make our little tea leaves there. I'm going to take this right needle then and go back into that 11 O, creating a loop, sewing in from the opposite side. With my right needle, I'm going to take my thread and needle and go through 2 of my first 15 O's and out. When I come out there, I'm going to add 1 of my 11 O's, and then I'm going to sew through 2 more 15s after skipping 1 11. So skip a 15, add an 11, and sew through 2 more 15s. What this is going to do is create the little start of a peyote stitch. which is going to get a nice look to the outside of the bracelet. Pick up an 11, skip over 1 15, and sew through then the next 2 15s after that skipped 1 11. You're going to continue this the whole way around the loop to get just a nice little decoration to the exterior of that loop for your button to go inside of. When you get to the end here, you're going to have just that nice little decor that's going to fit in your button. And what I'm going to do is bring my thread and needle, after going through and adding my last of my 11, I'm going to come through that last 15 right there. And what I'm going to do is tie these 2 thread ends together. Because I'm using green thread and green beads, it's a really nice opportunity to tie a really easy knot. Burn down the thread end on that knot, and you won't see the thread at all. What I am going to do, since I have thread left on the needle, is I'm now going to take my 1 thread, and I'm going to go down through the design just a tiny bit to separate that thread end from the knot. This is going to then allow it so you don't have a bunched up piece of thread there. Go ahead and take it down the side just a little bit. Take your thread burner, burn off the thread end, burn that flush down, and burn this one on the other side as well. Take your burner to any little tip that might be left and burn it flush against the project. And there you have it. That's going to be the end for this very pretty, very dainty Tea Time bracelet. And put that button there, and you can see that nice little peyote loop. Thank you so much for joining me in making this Tea Time bracelet. Great design by Anna, really cute to wear. You could even make a multiple wrap and really expand it and change up the colors. Make sure again to comment below with any changes that you made, color variations, or different size beads. I'd love to see somebody do a different diamond in the middle and maybe even 8 O's instead of the 11 O's. Change it up and list your comments below. Remember, you can also share this video as well as click in the corner to subscribe to get regular updates from us here at Potomac Beads. Remember, if you ever need any materials, we are more than happy to send them to you. Just check the links below to shop with us online at PotomacBeads.com as well as PotomacBeads.eu. Thanks for watching, everyone, and thanks again to Anna. Enjoy your Tea Time bracelet.